This year marks the 30th anniversary of Warcraft, and it got me thinking about how much capital L lore the franchise has accumulated over the years. This ever-changing canon most players just graze by while they set out to make their own stories in Azeroth, a scarcely appreciated and yet still deeply vital part of what makes the world a world at all, its long and detailed history. And when it comes to WoW, there's a whole 30 years of writing, rewriting, scrapping, reimagining, embellishing, retconning, and overall patch chopping, amounting to this beautiful Frankenstein's monster of a setting. So, as part of celebrating Warcraft's 30th birthday, I wanted to go back to one of the places in WoW that embodies this ramshackle charm better than any other. A place that has been around since the very beginning of Warcraft, a place where many of you locked in for the very first time, a place called Northshire Abbey. I'm your host, /ramble, and this is the immense depth of World of Warcraft, Secrets Beneath Northshire. When I say Northshire Abbey has been around since the beginning of Warcraft, I'm talking the first 12 seconds of Warcraft. What you're looking at is the intro cinematic to Warcraft, Orcs and Humans from 1994. And just 12 seconds in the same breath as Stormwind, is our introduction to Northshire Abbey within the setting. Although Blizzard would later come to pride itself on its storytelling ability, back then it was more of an afterthought. In fact, the plot was mostly improvised by the game's singular voice actor Bill Roper, who, when he was called into the voice booth, was encouraged to just wing the vast majority of his lines, leading to iconic quotes such as and "Stop poking me!" The first Warcraft contained a total of 24 missions, and out of those 24 missions, 2 of them ended up taking place in Northshire. Human Mission 6 and Orc Mission 8, both of them appropriately named Northshire Abbey. While the Human Mission had you dealing with an anonymous raid of turncoat humans siding with the Orcs above ground, the Orc Mission had you delve deep into the crypts beneath it to free the half-orc spy known as Garona. All these years of low-level humans flailing around in Northshire Valley, merrily going about their wolf-slaying business, while deep beneath the earth, the secrets of the Northshire Abbey crypts have only festered. During the First War, in an effort to quell the Orcish hordes, the clergy of Northshire had converted these once sacred catacombs into a terrible prison of war. When the Orcs stormed the prison, they faced a nightmarish onslaught. Corrosive oozes, animated skeletons, scorpions, spiders, and rogue fire elementals, leaving us to wonder who or what created this sprawling crawling space for such subterranean horrors. Freeing peon after peon after peon, the Orcs would finally uncover Garona. With the spy secured, they escaped, leaving the war-torn catacombs behind them. And the crypts beneath Northshire Abbey were never to be heard from again. Throughout the war, a Nameless Abbot of Northshire played a role both in healing a comatose teen Medivh, but also as a mysterious seer who divined the location of the missing knight Sir Lothar. Fast forward to the end of the campaign, and Northshire Abbey is on fire. Much like the rest of the Kingdom of Stormwind, the Abbey ultimately fell to the Horde during the First War. Whatever happened to the Abbot after the burning of his abbey would remain a mystery to Warcraft fans until the release of Warcraft 2, The Tides of Darkness. Or specifically, its manual. That's about the only place where Northshire Abbey features in this game, but they did hide some cool details in here. First of all, we finally got a name for our Abbot of Northshire Abbey. It is none other than the benevolent Alonsus Faol, the priestliest of priests in the Warcraft setting. An excellent pick. I'm sure they won't randomly retcon that 14 years later. Yes, like so many other areas of the game's history, Northshire Abbey has been hit with 1 or 2 retcons. With the release of the Rise of the Lich King novel by Christie Golden, it was revealed that Faol spent his whole life in Lordaeron, and therefore he could never have been present for the First War. At the very least, Faol would later go on to repair Northshire Abbey in the lore of vanilla WoW, and Stormwind would honor him with a statue in the Cathedral Square that... And just like that, it was gone with the Cataclysm. Just about any tie or link that Alonsus Faol had with Northshire Abbey was retconned or removed, leaving the Abbot of Northshire Abbey a nameless figure in the lore forever. No longer confirmed to be alive, our wayward anonymous abbot may as well have died during the First War, from a key figure in Stormwind's history to a forgotten smear in its annals. I wonder which of the graves in the Northshire graveyard would be his. I guess we'll never know. Now then, with the mystery of the abbot closed, there are two revelations left for us to uncover from the Tides of Darkness manual. Firstly, there's the odd origin of the invisibility spell. It turns out the mages of Dalaran gleaned the spell from sacred tomes rescued from Northshire Abbey before it was lost during the First War. In other words, whenever you're running around on a human or forsaken mage, you can rest assured that each time you click that little spell icon, you're actually paying homage to the Abbey where the franchise once began. Secondly, throughout the Second War, Northshire Abbey apparently served as the headquarters of the Twilight's Hammer clan. Right after the Abbey was put on fire during the First War, the Orcs decided to give the ruins to Cho'gall and his twisted followers. One can only imagine what kind of terrible horrors once roamed through the ruined halls of the Abbey when Cho'gall was its master. What kind of evils might Cho'gall have cooked up in the Abbey that we don't know about? What twisted artifacts did he leave there for us to find? And more importantly, did he find a way into the haunted crypts beneath the valley and harness its darkness to manifest all manner of alien monstrosities? See, we don't know, but if Blizzard ever wanted to revisit Northshire Abbey, there's something to take from here. And I believe therein you'll find the beating heart of WoW's ramshackle nature. For while much of what I just said is purely speculative, it exists within the realm of possibility. A realm shaped solely by these tiny details left in half-canon missions and game manuals. At any point you can dive deep into the lore and find these untouched fonts of potential future narratives. It's a special kind of magic, and it's very unique to franchises that have several decades under their belt. I'll admit, the first time players logged into WoW in 2004, the vast majority of them probably didn't know about this magic, but I believe they could feel it. Consider for a moment the introduction to a human character back then. This gorgeous flyby of Stormwind taking us through Elwynn and over to our character, while Earl Bowen's deep, wizened voice lays out what would essentially become your racial campaign.
Now humanity's greatest chapter can be told.
The moment you spawn into the Abbey, it's full of people, NPCs, and players. Although your character is a newborn level 1, they have history here. As you explore the Abbey, you can open books that detail great historic events that shaped the world. Even if you knew nothing, each step that you would take would further your sense of wonder. Because World of Warcraft wasn't just magical because of what it was. It was magical because of what it could be. Because of what you, the player, could be in it. To sum it all up with a single word, Warcraft is potential. Potential to build, innovate, surprise, or squander. The potential to bring to light these long-forgotten parts of its dense history. Potential we, the players, and the developers, discover alongside each other simultaneously every time we log on, or post a comment, or make a video. When I first went down the Northshire Abbey rabbit hole, I expected only to find some old records of what had been. Instead, I emerged from my search with what could yet happen. Inspired, invigorated, and insatiably curious. And I owe that to this brilliant franchise's ramshackle nature. Do you have a favorite part of obscure lore that you would love to see depicted in World of Warcraft? Let me know in the comments below. I plan to post videos like this here on /ramble that will cover all kinds of topics ranging from Warcraft to Dungeons & Dragons to animated movies and more. So if you like any of these things, consider dropping a subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for sticking around to the end. This has been a /ramble. Bye!